morning. Hello. So lovely to see you all here. Busy playing around with some fun scenes and things that I've added to my stream. So, my heart is beating so fast, but it'll calm down in a few seconds. It's always like, even though I've had such a long time to prepare, there's always such a rush to like get this live and sort all the things out that I wanted to do beforehand, especially because this is my second live stream of the day. And whoopsie daisy, my pen almost went flying, but that's totally fine. Good morning, everybody. So nice to see you. I see that Jackie is here, Erica is here, Sharice is here. I'm so excited to see you all. Obviously, this is a very exciting live stream because we have my microphone disconnected there for a second, which is a little bit strange. But yeah, I'm excited to see you all, excited to craft along with you today while we watch that countdown timer ticking. Is that countdown timer in an okay position for you guys? I can move it wherever I need it to be. If there are things blocking it on the screen, let me know. I can always make it somewhere else. Jackie says yes. Maria's joining us from Florida, which is great. And we're actually, like, I was so worried about hitting 50k beforehand. Like, it's so close. I originally thought it was actually going to be tomorrow, but then it kind of jumped a little bit forward. Because like I said, I mean, if you guys saw my email, you can never predict when these things are going to happen. Normally, I start getting more subscribers in like the afternoon, evening time because the majority of my audience is actually American. So by the time it's like in the afternoon, evening, that's when they start, you know, seeing my videos and things like that. So I was like panicked. I think I woke up with like an awful tummy ache, like in the middle of the night at 2 o'clock in the morning. And then the first thing that I did this morning when I opened my eyes was like checked on the numbers, like, oh my word, have we hit it? Because I really wanted to be here live with you guys and hit it live. Like, it's obviously it's gonna happen. It's just a case of when. Figuring out the timing was just, oh my word. I also want to play some music in the background, so I want you to please tell me. Okay, no. Is that music okay for you guys? Like, I want it to be soft, like just so that it's in the background. Don't want it to be loud at all. Can you hear it? And if it's okay. So, There we go. So annoying. I changed nothing. I moved nothing. I don't know why it does that every now and then. So I just had to climb under my computer, and it's the age-old have you tried turning it off and on again kind of scenario. Okay, so the music is soft, which is great. That's exactly what I wanted. I don't want it to be overpowering at all. If you think it can go up a little bit, let me know. But yeah, I'm so glad to have you all here. There's so many of you here, which is lovely. So we're going to craft along to... Oh, now that one display thingy has bugged as well. Okay, there we go. Yeah, so we're going to craft for a while. So we're going to settle in and do some fun things. I'm going to switch over to this scene so that we can start working on our projects. It's very faint like I want. Okay, great. So we have Wendy from Oregon, Lena from Hampton, VA. I'm not sure if VA is that Virginia. I think that's Virginia. Just a spritz of rain. I like that. Okay. I didn't actually bring it upstairs. I meant to bring it upstairs, but we're going to be making putting some vinyl on some glasses. VA is Virginia. Okay, great. I thought so. Obviously, not being in the US, I'm not always 100% familiar with each of the numbers. Only 7 to go. But like I said, I'm gonna be crafting far past that. I'm not just gonna be like, let's hit 50k and then go off. I actually want to chill with you guys a little bit. It's been a while since I've actually done a live stream, so we're going to be making, like I said, some of the Libby glasses, playing around with some. Oh, I can't wait to do the bees one. McAllen, Texas. Ooh, that's cool. Isn't it like really early in Texas? Isn't it like 6 a.m? Oh, thank you, Jackie. That's so kind of you. I'm so excited. And I'm so excited that I could also do this with you guys. Ooh, should we do a Christmassy one as well? I think I'm just going to add a bunch of them to my screen. Oh, wow. Ben, thank you very much for joining. I'm not a 6 a.m. person. I'm not an early bird. Well, I can get up early in the morning if I need to, but most of the time I'm up a little bit later than that. So normally I wake up at about 8 or so. So 7 a.m.-ish here in Virginia. Shoo, lovely and early. We get started off the day on a good note then. Oh, okay, no, let's not click on the wrong place. I mean, you're just seeing the stream behind you, which is great. So I've just got an email letting me know that now live on your channel. Like, thanks, I know. What time is it there? It's 1:15 in the afternoon. Mary says she loves watching the live crafting. Hello from Maryland. Awesome. Great. Oh, wow. Yeah, obviously, because I know that in California, it's like really, really early. Obviously, the time zones over the US kind of shifts. And I wanted it to be a little bit later, but if I had made it a little bit later, then we probably would have hit it off stream, the 50k off stream, which obviously I didn't want. So I was forced to make it a little bit early. Okay. We have a few different colors here. 4 a.m. in Oregon. Wendy, wow. I'm very, very grateful that you're here. Wow, that's really early. Are you normally up this early, or did you join us just for the live stream? Because I don't want to kid myself to think that you're just here for the live stream. Maybe you have a baby that you're feeding, or a noisy neighbor, or something like that. Who knows? Okay, so we're going to do I think we're going to start off with the bees one. Definitely yellow and gold. So I just want to separate this one out. I'm going to move these two off the screen quick. I'm going to ungroup this because I want to see how these layers are set up. There's obviously those yellow layers and then those brown layers. That is very strange. how they have this all set up. Like whenever I'm doing these kinds of things, if it's something that I've imported into Design Space, I got these off Creative Fabrica. I can share the links with you guys if you want. Let me just open a quick tab for Creative Fabrica. Hold on a second. Let's just open that there so that you guys can see. Took a long nap earlier and just haven't gone to bed yet. Oh, wow. So you're a proper night owl. I like that. That's very cool. So I'm just looking into my downloads. And like I said, I'll share these links with you guys if you want to make them yourself. Maybe what I'll do is I'll put them all in the description once I'm done. Cool. So that's the one that we're using, the honeybees. And I want to see how they've set it up. So it kind of looks like they're using the same colors. I don't know why all the different colors are in a different layer, which is really strange. But what has everybody been up to lately? Have you started Christmas prep yet? I haven't. I mean, I'm probably going to be putting up my Christmas tree. I'm going away not next week, but the week after. So I'll probably put up my Christmas tree when I get back. So I haven't done any Christmas prep yet. Support from around the world. I know, this is absolutely amazing. I love having all of you guys here. It's awesome. Okay, wow. They've put each of the dots, they're a separate object. So that's what I like to do when I'm working with these projects, is I take a look at the layers and see how they've been set up. Okay, so the bees and the dots are all in a different layer. Very, very strange. Oh, wow, we're only 3 away now. This is quite hectic. Miss P said she's putting up the tree because you're having surgery and you've started your shopping. Fantastic. I mean, you could put up your tree in March and I wouldn't care. Like, I would be all for it. Oh, thank you, Miss Temp. I'm so excited. It's been a long time coming. So it's very, very cool. I also wish that you could select multiple layers at the same time. Well, other than what you're... Okay, so maybe what I'll do with this... Yes, very good luck with your surgery. I hope that everything goes well. Oh, that's always a very big stress point. Very, very big stress point. Okay, so I'm going to take all of these bees. And not even all of the bees. Oh, there we go. You know what I might do? This is like waiting for the New York and you have 3 more to join. Yeah, exactly. Oh, for the New York. I'm thinking in America. American states. New Year. And you have 3 more to join. Yeah, and then somebody leaves because now they want to be the 50,000th. And then it goes down and then it goes back up again. I remember watching that when Mr. Beast hit... I don't know. I think it was like 10 million or something like that. He would drop 50,000 and then go back up again. It was really funny. I'm trying to decide whether I want to have the bees separate and then layer them, or whether I want to have them all together, because when you're especially when you're cutting something like the bees. But I suppose maybe we could just have them all in one layer, because we'll put the bees in one layer and then we'll put all of the dots, the middle of the sunflowers, in the same layer. So maybe let's do that. Let's select all the bees. And when I select them, I always start from the bottom, because it jumps. If you start from the top and you go down, then it keeps jumping down. So I'm going to start from the bottom. And I've got to watch on that little side there, because I can't actually see the counter. I should have had a counter somewhere else on the screen. Okay, let me just make those one layer. So I'm going to... How are you able to show in the corner and we can still see Cricut? also. That's so cool. Thank you. So basically, I have a program that I use called OBS, which is a streaming platform program. And you can create different scenes, they call it. So you can add overlays and add visuals and things like that. So I just it's a little bit of a weird way of doing it, but when you're in YouTube analytics, you can see, like, you can have a live countdown timer, and then I have that open in a separate window, and I've got that little window cropped so that it's exactly just around the number, and then I put that in the corner. It took a while to get it right. But I was like, no, I have to show the live, because obviously when you guys are seeing the video, you just see 49.9k. You don't see like the actual number. So I wanted to make sure that you could follow along with me, because I can see the actual number, but you can't see like an actual representation of the number, which is quite annoying, but I mean, it's cool. Oh, Chris is joining us from Southern California. Lovely. Lovely. Okay, so I'm going to put all the sunflowers into one layer. And then we've got those dots and the little sections for the bees. Those are also all, I'm not going to select all of those. What is this? Oh, these are the brown dots. Okay, so that is all one, so we can make that into one layer. Let's weld that. And then, now I just like to check on this side. So those are the dots. Those are the sunflowers. We can leave those off for now. So I'm going to select the brown dots and the brown. Unless we do the dots in black. I mean, the dots in brown. The bees in black. And then the yellow all in one layer. Ooh, Iowa, 6 a.m. Shoo, wow, guys. I'm impressed with the time. Like, I wouldn't wake up for something at 6 a.m. Which is why I was so like, oh no, I really wanted to be a little bit later. Okay, maybe what we do... Hi, Dad! Well, Peter and Jennifer know it's on. It's my mom and my dad. Getting close. It's very exciting. Very exciting. 4:30. Oh my word, Chris. Yeah, because you're in California, so it's like completely on the other side. Please don't tell me. Please tell me that you wake up this early, especially on a Saturday. Trying to learn OBS for months. Still can't get it. Super glad you're on. Thank you. You're welcome, Miss P. Yeah, OBS is quite like, just take it baby steps, because there's lots of different things to learn. I think in the last 48 hours I've had so many problems. There was an audio delay, and then it was like not syncing this properly, and then this sound was weird and that was different. And I think even now, is my sound very quiet for you guys? Because I actually meant to do a boost on the sound for you guys. Desktop audio is decreased, but if I do like a 10, or maybe like I think I did like a 15 decibel boost, then the sound goes up a little bit better. Oh, I don't know if that was the good or not. I apologize if that was very loud, but is the sound a little bit better? Because I realized yesterday when I was fiddling around with a lot of the things that when I'm streaming, the sound is really, really soft. But if I'm using the virtual camera, my sound is fine. But if I boost the mic, then the sound, I'm louder now. Okay, great. Yeah, then the sound is much better. So I hope that's a little bit, I forgot to do it ahead of time. Because I was using the virtual camera. In the first live stream that I did this morning, I did a virtual camera, and that one you can't boost the sound because then it's too loud. But I have to boost the sound for the stream. I don't know why. The stream has a better quality. Technology, I'm telling you, technology. Oh, I love all the hearts coming through. Okay, I'm glad that you're saying that the sound is, you could hear me okay first, but the sound now much better. Great. Yeah, I'd rather have people turn me down, the volume down, than have the sound too soft, and then you can't actually turn it louder, you're on like full volume or whatever. Good morning from Ohio. It feels like New Year's Eve. Can't wait to learn. Yay! I'm so excited. I'm I'm glad you think that it feels like New Year's Eve. I know somebody else mentioned that as well, but it's actually quite fun. Perfect timing that this worked out. Sorry for you guys in the US though, like that it's really, really early, but it's one of those things, I suppose. And I would have brought some bubbly with to celebrate, but I don't really know how YouTube feels about that on a stream. So I will send a photo with that later. And I'm also glad that I have lashes on and I don't have mascara, because who knows. Even if we had to do like, what do you call it, waterproof mascara, like that stuff never works. Okay, so we've got the bees. My computer's hanging for just a second. Oh, those are the inside of the sunflower. So that one, I think, maybe we will keep brown. You could say it's ginger ale. Yes, I love that. I love that. Oh, that's brilliant. Brilliant. Okay, so those are those thingies. Okay, so let's hide the bees and let's hide the middle of the sunflowers. And then I'm trying to think about how I'm going to do it. Here comes the sun. So I'm thinking about this now. Put some purple in it. I could. Purple would look really nice with this. Maybe I'll take some of those dots and I'll cut a few dots out of purple and put the odd purple dot, because I think, Miss P, that's a great idea. That would actually look really nice. But I think what I'm going to do, because I don't like having the little yellow bits so small, especially because it's a glass that's going to be physically handled a lot, having these little yellow stripes, I don't think that would turn out very well. They're more likely to come off, even if you are careful with it and whatnot. I mean, these won't get used like an excessive amount, but those little bits from, I'm going to mess up that one. Warragul, Victoria, Australia. That's very cool. People like all over the globe. How nice of you to come for you to check in. Now, Australia, I know you're ahead of me, so you're probably like, what, 7, 8 o'clock at night now? Somewhere around there. But I suppose in Victoria, I don't know where Victoria is, which side you're on. I'm not 100% sure what time. So what time is it there by you, Julie? Thank you for joining. Okay. So what I might actually do is I might take these layers. One to go. Maybe what we can do is, while we wait, we can do this. Whoop. And save as. I'm trying to save a screenshot because it looks cool. Look at that screenshot. Yay! Wait, hold on. I've got a sound. Let's just play this quickly. That's the stream. There we go. Let's pause that. Wait for it. Woo! Oh, this is so much fun. This is so cool. Oh. Yay! Thank you, everybody. We're not going to stop here, though. We're going to continue crafting because this is just too cool. So I'm having a lot of fun. I'm just surprised that it was so quick. Oh, that was fun. Was that loud enough for you guys? Like, did you hear it kind of loud enough? It's so difficult to try and test these things when you're not you know, there to see it. Oh. Oh, thank you so much, everybody. I'm so excited. It's just, wow, what a journey. What a journey it has been. I mean, it's like, obviously this is my full-time job now, and crafting and things like that has been a complete and utter savior for me. Oh my word. Oh, I think I remember watching a video from Jennifer Maker the other day saying she was a crybaby. Me too. Thank you. Oh, and I actually have toilet paper. Where is it? Did I throw it away? No, I couldn't have. Ooh. Thank you, guys. And no, I'm not ashamed to cry, because it's like, woo. Oh, good night, Wendy. Thank you so much for staying up. That's so kind of you. I appreciate it. And I appreciate every single one of you. Mom, of course you are. Oh, thank you so much, Olivia. Oh, thank you so much, Judy. Sorry, Chris. I'm also one of those people, like, when I see somebody crying, then I cry as well. So I apologize. Actually, well, no, not really. Hey, we have oysters. Ooh, no thank you. Enjoy your oysters. Not for me. Not for me. I think we're actually going to have a pizza tonight. We had sushi last night, but just because we hadn't had sushi in like a month, and I really wanted sushi. But I said tonight we're going to have some pizza to celebrate. We probably should have done it the other way around. Pizza last night and sushi tonight, because sushi's a little bit more of a like a celebration. I don't know, fancier meal. Not really. And I didn't drop my sushi this morning because I had a few pieces left over, and last time I dropped them on the floor. Oh, so great. Gotta go get the hubby and start works. Thank you so much for popping in, Lena. I very much appreciate it. Have a great one. Have a great day as well. But yeah, like I said, we're not going to stop the stream here. I'm going to continue crafting with you guys, because you are the reason that I am here. So, need more tea. Oh, great idea. I just poured some, well, my husband actually got this for me earlier. Just some water. Oh, and I paused the music, and now I must start it again. Hold on. So you can see, this is the music platform that I use. Epidemic Sound. Ooh, sorry. I forgot that the level was really loud. I apologize. Because you got to change, it changes individually in the thingy, which is a little bit annoying. Let's open, no. Open up the editing software. Oh, you can't see it because you're looking at me. That's not too bad. Whew. Oh, thank you so much, Dre, and thank you so much, Charisse, as well. I actually also wanted to do a thing where I can't do, like, I need to use a different, like an extension or something that I can have like pop-ups actually showing, because I wanted to add in image, an existing image. Oh shoot, I'm adding it into the wrong stream. I mean the wrong scene. Let's go copy. Oh. Now I gotta recover from that. And I also see every time I laugh, it like spikes the audio. I suppose maybe I should just put it nice, big and bold in the middle so that I can just flash it on the screen and be like, yay, thank you. Like that. Yay, thank you. So that one is for Charisse. Charisse was very stout, which in Afrikaans means naughty. And she bought me a coffee on Buy Me a Coffee, so I just wanted to say thank you for that, and thank you as well for the super chat. And thank you to Dre for the super chat as well. It's very, very, very kind of you. So yeah, I very much appreciate it. Oh, that was fun. And it's probably going to sit on 50,000 for a while. So like, that's pretty cool. You know, and I know that you guys enjoy the stuff as well. You know, it's great to be able to make this kind of content for you, even though it's like, and for free as well. And of course, I very, very much appreciate all of the, you know, like the sponsors and channel members. And I love updating my channel members, and we have like channel member live streams and things like that. That for me is just, oh, it's so much fun, because you guys really make my day. And we actually have our next channel members live stream on Tuesday. So I've got lots of live streams at the moment. Oh, Renelle, welcome. Thank you for joining. There's so much content for you to watch. There are so many like unboxing videos and vlogs and random updates. And I try, so basically, if I just switch back to the webcam. So when it comes to the channel members, what I try and do is share the videos. Number one, you get like 24 hours early access to the videos. I try and do 24 hours most of the time. Sometimes it doesn't quite work out like that, but I try and give you as much early access as I can. And then I do the occasional like video update. I share what videos I'm working on. I share some things that I've been like, I shared this recently. I just crocheted a little ghosty. It's so cute. There's a Facebook group, and yeah, it's a lot of fun. You get to know all the people, and I love the community that we have in the channel members section. It's lovely. It's really, really lovely. So I can't wait for you to join and enjoy the community that we have built over there. And I just want to change that quickly. We've seen you grow, and it's awesome to grow with you. That this was hard work, but it paid off. Yeah, it's taken me 4 years to get here. It's crazy. But also, you know, in the 2 years since I have left my job, I went from 10,000 to 50,000, which is wild. I watch as much of your videos as I can, and I love your accent. Oh, thank you so much, Stella. I think also it's nice, you know, being a South African in the kind of the American space, is that my accent is different. So it is interesting for people to like experience a different accent and things like that, which is also pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie, I quite like that. And I can't wait until I can actually travel to the US and see you and interact with you guys, and oh, it's gonna be great. Okay, let me just send that to the back. Of course, I'm getting like wildly distracted from what we were actually going to be doing, but that's fine, because we were having a chat. This is a live stream. It's like a lot more chilled. This isn't a, you know, one of those videos where everything's in line. Okay. What I want to try do is add a few of those to a thingy and duplicate that, and then I'm going to weld that. I want to try and separate it so that I cut the yellow first and then put the brown on top, so that these aren't these. I was trying to say that earlier, but I just couldn't get the words out. I couldn't get. Been the best 4-year journey with you. I can't believe how far your journey has come. I'm so excited to see your journey continue. Thank you, Dre. You've been one of my biggest supporters, and I'll never be able to thank you enough. Okay, so I am going to isolate a little bee and try and separate that. But first, I actually want to take out a few of these little ones. Maybe I'll just do one group. Take one of those groups. Oh, struggling to see again, guys. Struggling to see. Okay, and then, because we're going to cut that all out of the same... maybe I shouldn't, because I don't want to have all of those little thingies. The clock. What clock? Oh, why did that move? What is going on? Thank you, Mom. Thank you for mentioning that. Main screen cropped. I genuinely don't know why that's happening. At least it's nothing weird and like untoward. Not like I have anything untoward on my computer anyway, but okay, that is very strange. Oh, I think I know why. I think it's because I changed the wrong window. So if I move that, and if I bring that out, I know I'm going to show you Cricut Design Space again. There we go. That's better. There we go. Fixed. Thank you for letting me know. I wasn't watching the scene selector on the side there. That's what happens when you do everything manually. Like, I want to be able to buy a stream deck, because then you can program the scenes and like just press a button and it changes everything for you. But those things are expensive, and there are other things that I need to focus on. Sam, hello. Sam doesn't normally come into the room, but he's come in now. I have a question. So I'm seeing... Oh, okay, no. Okay, so you guys are all talking about the camera because I was a chop. That's why. But we've gone past that. I think I wanted to actually see something else on the side. No, not that. That's the problem with showing the screen. Because I wanted to see how many... Like to see the stats of the stream. Because I can't see them at the moment. Okay, so this, now I'll eventually get back to this. Like, my mind is just all over the place at the moment. So I'm just going to make this into one layer. Because I've separated out the things that I want to separate out. Like, when it comes to these things, you're going to be doing one of two things. All right? So when it comes to making a mug like you have now, you're either going to save time or you're going to save vinyl. And I think what I should do is I should save time, because I've got so much vinyl, lots, and I end up not using a lot of the vinyl that I have. So maybe what I should do is just cut this all in one layer, and then just, well, I'm going to play around with the bees first. Because you're either going to sit there and try and move everything into the right place when it comes to making these specific cups, or you're going to, yeah, like I said, just cut it all in one sheet and then just boom, on top of each other. So very often when you see like those tech wrap videos and things like that, they are not interested in saving vinyl at all. And obviously they've got so much of it. So they just kind of, pluck the vinyl on top of each other. Save time. We're saving time today. But I still am going to change the bee thing, because I don't like the fact that these are little tiny sections. And when it comes to, like I said, when it comes to being on a mug, those are going to be the first things that are going to come off. So small things like that, even though it's permanent vinyl, which, I mean, we discussed in my, unpopular opinions video, where permanent vinyl, every lifespan, every adhesive has a lifespan. So it's like a 5-year vinyl or something like that. That is not going to stay on there in the long term. And I want to make something that's going to last. I don't want to make something that's just going to come off in a few weeks' time. Let's find the B layer. There we go. Okay. So I'm going to duplicate. No, wrong layer, Kelly. Undo. I'm going to duplicate this layer because it doesn't want me to let me do that by itself. Nothing in life is permanent. Literally. Okay, so let's hide all the contours and then just show the contours of... Okay. That is annoying. So essentially what this B is it's got the yellow piece that joins it there and then the blue piece. So they're not overlapping. They kind of fit inside each other, which I suppose could work, but not really what I was going for. So let's play around with this. And yeah, this is pretty much what, when I'm crafting for myself, this is exactly what I do. I like sit here and I try and figure out all of the different things that I'm going to do. I forgot to add in those 2 little pieces. So what I want to do is I want to have a solid B, not a half a B. 50,001. Oh, I didn't, the 50,000 thingy's gone. Where is it? Main screen. Window. There we go. There we go. it's back. I mean, we don't really need it anymore, but well, it's nice. It's nice to still see. I think it's still quite fun. Quite a fun thing to see. Okay, so I want to have this B as a solid object. So I'm just going to rotate it around a little bit. Do you guys like it when I show you this kind of stuff? Because I know that it intimidates some people, which is totally fair because it is, but it also shows you like how to fix some problems and things like that as well, you know. It's not 100% lining up properly. But I want them to like overlap a tiny bit. Stella says she loves it. Okay, great. You like seeing. Okay, cool. I'm glad because I try and fix these things all the time. There's lots of problems that happen. And sometimes with designs like this, like you don't always know how to fix a problem like this. I don't know if I even commented on the fact that my husband is 50,001. Love seeing the process. It's very helpful. Okay, great. I'm glad that you guys enjoy it because, like I said, I do this on a lot of different projects. I play around with them. I don't always just like make a project and then you see there's that line. So in this case, what I would do is I'll undo the weld. Maybe take this section and stretch it up and maybe even duplicate it and then separate out the little contour pieces. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use these shapes and try and create a solid brown B. So let's just do that. Let's combine and weld. Okay, no, we didn't get the yellow in the right spot, so I'm just going to nudge it down a teensy bit and align. I can't zoom in any further. Oh, feathers. I say feathers when I want to say something else because obviously I can't say the other thing, which I do generally quite a lot. Okay, so we've almost got that right. So I just want to stretch that a little bit. Like I said, I'm trying to create like a solid area. Let me see if I can make everything bigger. Okay. So the yellow, we're just going to move over a little bit. Well, actually, let's move the brown one. That should be fine. And I know there's a big gap there. So, no, Kelly, not slice. Weld, you chop. Just trying to cover up that little section there. And then we'll use this one. Maybe bring that down a little bit. It's not going to be perfect. It's not going to be perfect. But it'll be a little bit better. Better in the long run for the actual product, the end result. Okay, let me just rotate this one then. Never going to be perfect. There we go. So that's kind of what I want the brown layer to look like. All right, so we change that color to brown. And then when we do the yellow, and I've got to make that the right size again. When we do the yellow, it will then be, the yellow will then be on top, underneath. This will be the, sorry, this will be the yellow layer. And this will be underneath. So if we go send this to the back. So the end result looks the same, if you can see. No. Yeah, let's hide that. So the end result will look the same, but it'll last longer. And if we're going to cut everything in the yellow layer anyway, that vinyl that we're now cutting out of the bee, we're going to lose in any case. We can actually cut off the rest of the stuff. I just find it works a little bit better. Where is that bee? Stop it. So what I might do here is just cut off the wings and the antlers and things and just have that little base. I think I'm making this worse. What do you guys think? Do you think I'm overcomplicating this? Or should I just cut the yellow as it is? Or should I try... Because what I'm doing now, I'm thinking about it like layering it, right? So if we layer it like this, what's going to happen is that you're going to have to line up the antlers and you're going to have to line up the wings, which is going to be very difficult. So do you think I should just cut it the way that they intended it to be cut? Leave well enough alone, essentially. Or should I try the way that I want to do it? I don't think that the way that I want to do it is going to be the right way. Because even if I cut the wings off, then you've got a layer going like that. Sometimes I think I'm smarter and then sometimes I'm not. And that's all part of the learning process. That's why I like doing these things, to like figure out what's going on, try work through it. I think I need to cut it as it is. And as fun as it was to create that little bee, I think we're better off leaving everything as it was. What do you guys think? Let me know. Oh wait, hold on. Is this actually still ticking over? I was going to say. Okay, I think I'm going to hide this for now, and I'm going to cut, leave it as it is, I think, less complicated. Melinda, I think I agree with you, but I do really like, I think it was Miss P's suggestion earlier of doing purple. So I think I'm definitely going to add in a few purple dots. Did I change the size of that now? I'm just going to undo a bunch of things. You can't try both ways. I can, Stella. I just think that maybe layering on the bees is going to be a little complicated. And especially if you guys wanted to try this project at some stage, you know, then I don't want to make something that's, you know, too complicated that if you do want to try it, that it's not going to be something that you'll be able to do. So I'm just undoing a bunch of the steps because I think I resized the yellow. Add a small offset in yellow to the brown bees to layer under them. But then the yellow is going to poke through though. Because it's the way that they've set it up is that the yellow and the brown like fit into each other almost. They don't sit on top, which is a bit strange. There we go. Okay, so I did increase the size of the one layer. There we go. Okay, so we've got our layers. We're back now where we started. And I'm going to make things less complicated. Those ones we do still want to keep separate. Those are the duplicates. Okay, so I'm just going to change those to purple. And maybe add some of those in. Then the two brown layers, so the bees layer and the dots layer. Okay, so let's remove those. The bees layer and the dots layer, I'm going to combine into one. Weld. So now that's all one layer. They'll cut all out at the same time. And these I'll delete. No, not deleting those, apparently. Okay, we'll hide that, because now I want to cut all of this in one layer. Oh, and Fred is now going to be joining us. Hello. And silly mom didn't put his bed back. I will be right back. I'm going to fetch Fred's bed. Yes, my sir. This is a daily occurrence here at the Rossouw residence. Hello. Oh, just look at this little cat. He's so cute. Hey. But he loves rubbing his head against cars and all things dirty. So he's actually come into the house. Look at his face. He's like completely, that's just dirt. That's all just dirt. And he is just quite happy to cuddle. But I can't cuddle now, sir. I'm busy making a craft and people are relying on me. So that's why I feature him in so many of my videos, is because literally every time when I'm doing something, he will come in and he will jump on my lap. So this literally happens every single day. Every day, like sometimes several times a day. And then he'll chill in his little bed here next to me. It's so cute. So, yeah, he definitely needs a bath. So there, he'll just chill there now for the rest of the day. Or at least for the next few hours. He also came home the other day with a black dot, like a Hindi. I can never remember the name for the dot. I know there is a name. I've heard it. I know it. I can't remember it. But he came home with one literally right in the middle of his forehead. It was so cute. Maybe that was in celebration of Diwali. Maybe. I don't know. A bindi, thank you. How could I forget Bindi Irwin? I mean, that's just... like I said, I know the word. Thank you very much, Erica. Okay, so we'll weld all of those together. Because like if I make a mistake on this, I can always just re-import it. Or re-add it to my canvas, which is totally cool. Oh. Okay, so now we've got 2 layers that we need to cut, and then a couple of purples. So maybe I'll add some more purples just to, come on, just to have some extras that I can cut. So I'll make that one a little bit smaller, and that one also a little bit smaller. Try and save on space, you know? Okay. And maybe we'll do 2 of those. There we go. Okay, so we're going to attach that. Okay. And this is why it takes me so long to do these mugs, because it's it takes so long to like work on this project when it could just be like a load it onto your canvas and cut, Kelly. Well, you'd need to attach things first and then cut them. But I always overthink everything. Do you guys also overthink things? I mean, I know quite a few of my friends that do as well. Sometimes it's nice to just do a project where you're not overthinking something. What music is this playing? I mean, it's pretty, but... it always shows this then, the back. Yes, for sure, yes. Okay, great. I'm glad to know that I'm not alone. The song is gorgeous, but it's very strange. But can you guys hear the song loud enough? Is it still okay, the volume? Okay, so let's just make this project. Yeah, I can save it. No. Maybe it's just a little bit too soft. Is that a little bit better? Because I don't want it too soft on my side. But I think this particular song is like a little bit fairy tale-ish. It's quite cute, actually. Libby cup. Bees. I'm going to turn my machine... oh, machine's already on. Okay, so we'll cut the green first. Oh, the green, there's not even any green on the project. The brown first, and then the yellow, and then the purple. Okay, continue, and we'll connect to the machine. And then this one, I'm just going to use the Premium Vinyl Permanent Glossy setting. I might use more pressure. Considering buying a mug press, does it take long to learn how to add the designs? You don't want to waste a load of mugs learning how to use it. Honestly, I think that the Cricut mug press specifically, your learning curve is a lot shorter. So when it comes to using the mug press, you're more likely to get better mugs with the Cricut mug press. At least that was my personal experience. Other mug presses, maybe you can do more things with them, but then they're more complex. I really enjoy the Cricut mug press just because it's not overwhelming, you know. Okay, let's craft on this side. There we go. Eek. Okay, let's just pull you over a little bit. And then I'm going to put the chat on this screen here so that I can see it. And that. There. Because obviously I want to keep in touch with you guys. Oh, we don't have the timer on the scene. I didn't add it to this. Not the timer. The Chrome window. So even though we've hit it, I still want other people to be able to see it. Paste reference, and then maybe we'll move me down to the bottom corner. Now if I sit here and turn that way, maybe down a little. I don't want to bring it in too close. There we go. Oh, wrong way, wrong way. There we go. Oh, it's always a balancing act. Like, things, there are a lot of times, like a lot of people that do this, you know, do live streams and things like that a lot, they'll have multiple cameras. But multiple cameras, under your name on YouTube page, it says 50k subscribers. Yay! That's so cool. Oh, that's quite exciting. A lot of people will have multiple cameras and things like that. I can't have multiple cameras, so because it's really expensive. I want to eventually, but it's not the right time. But in all honesty, it's a little bit of a pain sometimes to have to like switch between the cameras and things like that. But maybe if I had more cameras, I might do more live streams. But that's not going to happen right now. Do you guys think that I should use foil, or should I use just plain color? Maybe I'll do a quick poll whether I should do foil. So these are going to be the foil colors. Let's see. Let's actually just take the colors out and see. So I would need a brown and a yellow. I could always go for like none of these, or that purple would look amazing. So let me keep the transfer tape out as well, because I'm going to need that. Well, I've got transfer tape down here. See, I could always do a gold for the yellow. And then I would want, like this brown. Well, that's quite see-through, actually. Because you can see the tech wrap transfer tape, the backing sheets underneath it. So let's see how that would look. And that's purples. Okay, and that's the end of the foil. Yeah, okay, so those are the foil colors that I have. Enjoy your show, Mom. Thank you for joining. How is layering foil on foil? That is a very good question, Chris. I mean, I have layered foil on foil before, and it is fine. This is like the, what do you call it? The bubble-free foil or something like that. So it's actually not too bad. It layers quite nicely. So that's an option. This is sticker vinyl. Oh, I think this is printable. So that. And then this is laminate sheets. We don't need those two. My playlist is going a bit rogue here. It's fine. Stella says she's going for plain. Okay, so the color changing, also don't need those. Also color changing, don't need those. Also color changing. Opal. I don't think the opal sheets will quite work with this. It's like the holographic-y ones. I don't think they would work very nicely. That must be transfer tape. I mean, they're beautiful, don't get me wrong, but it wouldn't fit the vibe. That gold one might. Or that's a goldy reddy. Oh, but it's also got a hint of green, which I don't think would work very nicely. Thank you, Corin. Did you say a name? Because you sure the shopping area is different from me being in Virginia? No, Miss P. This is the tech wrap. So this is available globally. I can send you the link for that, I think if I open my Notion, I can give you the exact link to this exact product. Vinyl, olive chrome. There we go. This stuff is great. So that's the product that I'm using. It is really, really nice. That's kind of what I like about using the tech wrap, is that obviously a lot of you are in the US and you won't have access to the products that I'm using. So when I use things like tech wrap, it makes it easily accessible for you as well. We don't have Caesar readily available. There are some places that stock it, but not readily. And a lot of other brands also we don't readily have. So that's why I like to use these. Okay, so these are all the pastel colors, which are absolutely stunning, but again, not the right vibe for this project. But I definitely need to make a plan to use these because these are gorgeous. Oh, you have a Maker, just learning. Do you have the Maker or the Maker 3? If you have the Maker, then you are very lucky. I actually prefer the Maker to the Maker 3. So if I were to use a plain color, let me just grab my plain colors quickly. I enjoy using those. They are very nice. You wonder if it's available in Australia. They might. There might be. They might ship to Australia as well. Yellow. Okay, so here's just like a plain yellow. It looks a little bit bright on camera. It's a little bit darker than that. There we go. And then we also have, now I'm just going to be using the Cricut one because that's just what I have at the moment. Oh, the Maker, great. Did you get the rose or the champagne one? I actually have been meaning to take out Miss Rose for a while. So this is the yellow. And then the brown that I would be using is in this Cricut. It's the coffee color. So these are our two options. I could always do like a goldy color, but I don't think that the gold would work as well. I think the brown would probably be a better... Welcome back, Dre. Oh, you got the rose one. That's exciting. I love the rose one. So I can either do the gold and the brown or the yellow and the brown. So first of all, maybe I'm going to do a poll. And I'm going to go AFK for a second while I wait for the poll results. So I'm going to ask you foil or plain. So we're going to start the poll. So it'll either be the foil colors or the plain colors. Let me know what you guys decide, and I will be right back. I'm back. Now let's see what the results say. 55% for the foil and 45% for the plain. We have 11 votes so far. Erica, I like your idea of a mix of foil and plain. If I were to do a mix of foil and plain, I'd probably want to separate out those layers in design space though, because then I would end up wasting a lot of material. If we have, and even though I'm doing this myself and I have tons of material, and I'm going to be completely honest, a lot of brands send me material, I still don't feel right cutting huge areas where it's unnecessary, like it's wasted material, and then you throw it up, you bundle it up and you throw it away. I want to value my materials as if I had spent my own money on them. So I would rather sit there and spend the time and like separate all of a lot of one. Do the dots foil and the bees in vinyl. I could. That's a good option. Unless what I do is I just add in a bunch of extra dots. Maybe out of the purple, I can cut 2 or 3 of those different layers in colors. So the third layer we're going to have the purple foil. So maybe instead of only cutting the purple foil, I'll cut purple foil and then I'll also cut some gold dots. And then we can have some of those. I think that is a great idea. I love how this, and that's kind of what I love about live streams, is that it's a collaboration. You know, we're all creating the project together. So I love your input. I love that you guys share what you think I should do. But the foil is winning. So maybe I should do it the other way, where we do the foil and then have a few dots in the plain colors. Because we've got 12 votes, and I think 7 of them would be for the foil and 5 would be for the plain. Because the plain colors would look nice-ish. But let's try with the foil. Or what I said earlier when I was talking. The plain colors and then the foil dots with random colors, purple and gold dots. Because I wonder if the only thing I'm concerned about is that this, I don't know if you can quite see it, it's actually quite see-through. And I'm just concerned that it's not going to look nice. So maybe the brown, I will definitely cut. So we're going to cut the brown layer. I think I'm going to cut the brown on this brown. Oh, I'm trying not to make this noisy for you guys. Because normally I just rip that off and then edit out the sound in a video. But I can't, because this is live. Okay, so we do that. So we're going to cut the brown in the plain. Maybe the gold. Let's see. Let's see what it happens, what it looks like. But you're putting on clear glass. Yes, that's correct. So that's why I'm saying I'm just a little bit cautious of it being see-through, because it's gonna look a bit funny, I think. I'm going to use that in a second. Sorry for the noise. Okay, so let's... Ooh, everybody's going for foil. You know what? I have a ton of the brown, so if I mess it up and if we feel like it doesn't look nice with the combination, then we can change it. But I think let's cut the brown on that color. And then we can see if we need to change it. Because the brown I don't mind going through a sheet, but I don't want to waste a sheet of the foil. Oh, you've never worked with vinyl, so you're intrigued with the process. Oh, that's going to be interesting. Okay. Then I'm glad that we're doing this project with you. I could also cut out the inside of the sunflower with foil and layer it on top of the brown. I think that could also look nice. It's like a difference, you know, like add a little bit of variation. Oh, thank you, Terry. It's a pleasure watching my videos and learning. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Stella, you have a champagne maker. Okay, great. I've got a rose maker. She's actually in the cupboard. I mean, not in the cupboard, in my bag. Like I said, I want to switch her out. Give her a little bit of love. I really enjoy using, but I've been using my Explore 3 a lot. Okay, let's get out the jar so long. So this is a brand, I don't know if this is a globally available brand, but I mean, it doesn't really matter what brand the jars are. This is just one that I have, but I also see that Mr. Price has them in stock again for those of you who are South African. Illumination type color. Yes, yes, exactly. Okay, I think I'm gonna rather use my. So do you guys use alcohol swabs? I use these all the time. Let's bring you in a little closer. I use these all the time. I'm gonna end the poll. 16 votes. Most people going for foil. Okay, well, let's see. I think definitely the gold will be in the foil. I think that's gonna look so cool. So you just have one little wipe like that, and then I have one of these, and I'm just going to give the glass a clean because they are quite dusty. And I'm just going to flip that thingy over and then wipe that down so that it can dry. The inside is dirty, but it doesn't matter. And I'm still going to give this a little bit of a quick wipe down as well. Because why not? So what does everybody have planned for the rest of the weekend? This is obviously 2 o'clock on a Saturday for us, but I know a lot of you are in the US and it's first thing Saturday morning. So do you have anything fun planned? Are you crafting all weekend? I think I might do some crochet a little bit later, and I also have a book that I need to finish that I'm busy reading. I'm busy reading the From Blood and Ash series by Jennifer L. Armentrout. And I'm on the 4th book in the series. But I need to go back to she's got 2, like a prequel series. And I should have read the 1st book in the prequel series before starting the 4th book in this series. So I'm actually going to be going back and jumping back and reading that. So I've finished the cut. Let me show you. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to do to just check the cut, because when it comes to this kind of thing, if you unload it, I mean, even if you recut it, you're probably not going to get the exact same spot, especially because these designs are quite small. So I'm just going to check the cut. So I'm going to lift up a section. So you see how easily that came off. So because that came off, I know that I can unload it because it's cut all the way through. Ooh, pumpkins. Pumpkins with the grandchildren. Okay, no, my TV is not allowed to switch off. There we go. Stella's walking the dogs. That's great. I took my dog for a walk yesterday morning. It was very interesting. I ended up standing in somebody else's dog, you know what, which was great. Like, clean up after your dogs. And then my dog wouldn't get in the car. She didn't want to get in the car to leave. So I had to like manhandle her and pick her up and shove her in the car. She's like, no, Mom, I don't want to leave. I'm having too much fun. Oh, Mary Ann. Oh, wow. That is exciting. She's leaving to go on a cruise to Mexico. Oh, I am jelly. Very, very jelly. Where are you leaving from? Okay, so I can put... How tall is this design? I want to cut this piece of vinyl down. 1, 2, 3, 4 inches tall. Okay. And the reason why I want to do that, I will show you in a second. So, when it comes to the tech wrap vinyl, a lot of the vinyls, especially like these, the mirror chrome colors, they actually have a protective layering on them, but I like to keep it on. So, I'm going to cut this down 4 inches from that side. And yes, I know that this is a mini trimmer. This is only an 8, what do they call this, an 8.5 inch trimmer. Oh, thank you so much, Beth. I'm so glad you could join us. So, I have a bigger trimmer. I just don't want to use it. I'm going to be completely honest. I don't feel like taking it out. So I'm just going to measure 4.5 inches just to give myself maybe a little bit, yeah, just a little bit more, like a 4 and, I don't know. It's kind of 4.5 inches. And then I'm going to cut that down. I don't feel like taking out my big trimmer. And then I just push it up to the top and then cut the rest off. So, and then very often I'll just put that thingy back. But this Tim Holtz trimmer, absolutely love it. Long Beach, California. So, Long Beach, California to Mexico. So, you're obviously going down that way and all the way around. That's quite a long cruise. That's quite nice. Okay, so like I was saying, this chrome vinyl has like a protective sheet. You can see, so we can, oh, I love that, tear off the protective sheeting and then put it on the mat. Okay. And now I'm going to need to change the setting in Design Space. The materials. It's your 50th anniversary and I've hit 50k as well. So today is a day of 50s. I love that for you. Congratulations. That is absolutely incredible. Well done. Carnival cruise. Ooh, that sounds interesting. And I'm cutting this on the premium vinyl textured metallic setting because that's the setting that I know that it likes for this material. And now I'm going to cut down this as well. Sorry. Okay, and I like to just bend it over the edge to see where the end of the design is. I think we're good to go here. So we cut that down. Okay. And then we come up here, line it up again, and then just continue the cut. Even though I have a slightly larger space than some might have, I find that having the small trimmer just makes my space feel a lot less cluttered while I'm crafting, so I don't feel overwhelmed with it on my desk. Okay, so now we're going to thank you, Stella, that's so kind. We're going to weed the vinyl. Now I actually have 2 weeding tools, and this is a video that I filmed probably like a year ago that I haven't even edited and put out yet, but it was inspired by the fact that you probably won't be able to tell on this camera shot, but the one weeding tool, the one the one on the left, is sharper than the one on the right, and that's because I dropped the one on the right, and it caused me much pain because we can't buy the True Control weeding kit. We can't buy it separately in South Africa. So a friend of mine very kindly gave me hers, a spare that she wasn't using. So I always need to make sure that I'm using the correct one when I'm actually weeding something. I'm going to take my glasses off so that I can see, because I am nearsighted. So if you're struggling to weed your vinyl, then it could actually be your weeding tool. And like I said, that is in a video that I will probably edit at some point. But workload, I've got lots to do and no time to do it in. Why is that not updating? I don't know why that screen isn't updating. It's not minimized, but it's totally okay. Okay, and these antlers, we have to... So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to weed this off very carefully, because obviously there's a lot of small sections down here at the bottom. So if I bring you in, I think that you're full zoom, but if I bring you in a little bit closer, you might be able to see a little bit better. Okay, that's full zoom. But then I'm always just worried that I go off camera because I don't... Like, I'll move the vinyl so that I can see better and then move it out of the way of your view. So feel free to yell at me if I do that. See, like, the wastage of this vinyl I don't mind, because there is, you know, lots of things in between, and I don't feel like this is too much wastage. But very often I see videos and people have wasted so much vinyl and it just breaks my heart. My one antler is getting messed up. That's why I like to weed slowly. Or not antler, feeler, or I know they probably have an actual technical term, but I do not know it. I will fix that one later when we are done. You can see there how the one feeler got completely messed up. Oh, Amanda! Great, thank you so much. Welcome to the team. Good to have you. And to the inner circle. That is exciting. So we're making a bee mug. We're going to be using one of these Libby cups. Oh, Lois is joining from Ohio, USA. Thank you so much. That's so kind of you. Now it's starting to become a respectable time in the US. Okay. I'm trying to make sure that I'm keeping tabs on everything. There we go. You absolutely will be able to watch it again, Amanda. Don't stress. So that's not too bad in terms of wastage. I just want to make sure that I've gotten all the little pieces, because every now and then when I'm making something like this, there'll be like a little piece stuck in there that I need to remove that didn't weed off properly, and then I closed it up and, you know, finished it, and then I can't use it again. Okay, so let me just fix this while... Every now and then, like, something just lifts up a little bit wrong, or maybe I moved my hand a little bit incorrectly. but it's totally fine. There we go. Oh, and my husband just got home. Oh, there we go. That was the section that I needed to take out. Okay, now we're going to weed out all of the little wing bits. And these are very, very thin. It's beautiful. And I might... Okay, hold on. Let me just... do that so that you guys can actually see what I'm doing, because now I need to be able to like look at it properly. So Beth asks, what are the antenna? Thank you, Marianne. That's the word I was looking for. What material are you using? So I'm actually using, this is Cricut permanent vinyl, but you can use any kind of vinyl. It doesn't really matter. And then I'm also using the Tech Wrap foil, because that's what you guys decided that I should use for the golds. Sorry, I get quiet when I'm concentrating, and I need to just pull that piece off because it was sticking a little bit to the wing. Oh, I need to weed out these little bits here. Do you guys weed off the inside first? Actually, a reel that I wanted to make. I filmed it already, I just need to edit it. Story of my life. So I'm just weeding off all of the little inside bits, and this is going to be the layer that's going to go on top. So I want to do the layer that goes, I suppose it doesn't have to be on top. Maybe I'll do this one second. I'll put the yellow onto this one. And he went out with my dog as well, so she's now back as well. Let's see. Yes. Okay. It's actually sometimes easier to weed the insides first than it is to weed them after you've already weeded the excess. Especially when you're working with very thin, delicate things like this. Like maybe what I should have done is done an internal offset onto these wings and made them a little bit thicker, because I think these are a little thin. Obviously the Cricut can cut that thin, but when you're using, like especially when it's on a glass or something like that, when it is that thin, it's going to move around a lot, which means that it'll get damaged quicker. So when you're using something like on a glass, you want to make sure that it is a little bit thicker so that it doesn't get damaged. Okay. And I'm also just trying to weed from the inside, which is the smaller section. I'm weeding backwards. Hello, my girl. Hello. My doggy is back. She goes to play at Grandma for a little bit. Okay. And the gold is finished cutting, but I will check that in a second. So, almost done. Do you guys enjoy weeding? At some point in my journey, I would cut an entire page, like a 12 by 12 mandala, and then just weed the whole thing, just because I was bored. Now I'm never bored. No, you don't like weeding. I mean, it can be very frustrating, especially if like you don't have the cut settings right and the vinyl is then giving you problems and all of those things. Can be very stressful. Okay, so we've got the bees all done. Let's just turn that out a little bit more. How cool is that? I think that's the right way. Okay. You find HTV easier to weed than vinyl? Yes. Weeding doesn't look like fun. It is. I mean, it can be. If you have like the right settings and the right vinyl, then it's great. Like this one is going to be nice to weed because it's relatively easy. So, I should have checked the cut setting. Rookie mistake. But it looks like it's done well because I've cut this material before. What is HTV? HTV is heat transfer vinyl. So like the kind of vinyl that I have on my shirt, it's a softer vinyl that has a kind of a glue underneath it that melds into the fabric when it's warmed up. I'm actually just going to cut a small piece of this because again I want to remove that protective covering on the tech wrap vinyl. Which machine did I use to cut the bees? I'm using my Explore 3 currently. So you can iron it on. Technically you can. But the problem that I have with specifically like ironing things on is that you don't often get even pressure. In order to have, like if you're doing a large decal or a large design or something like that, then you may have more pressure on the one section than you have on another. And then what's going to happen with that is certain parts of the design will start peeling up because with a lot of materials, you need a lot of pressure in order to get the glue to like go into the fabric because you want it to bond as well as you can. So by using an iron, number one, you can't control the temperature. You're just going to have to guess that it's on the right setting. And some heat transfer vinyls, or iron-ons as Cricut calls them, are sensitive to heat temperatures. So if the temperature is too high, then you'll actually burn the adhesive. If the temperature is too low, it won't heat the adhesive up enough. So just keep that in mind. Like you can do it. It is possible. I'm not going to tell you that it's not possible because it is. It's just, if you're doing it for yourself or for family and friends, no problem. Then absolutely. If you're careful and you make sure you pay attention to what you're doing, then you can make it work. I've done it successfully, but there are lots of instances where I haven't been as successful because I haven't been paying attention or something like that, and it hasn't actually worked out all that nicely. So you can do it, but just make sure that you're paying attention to what you're doing, basically. I hope that answers your question. Okay, now let's just cut this piece, and I'm just going to cut this whole thing off. Yeah, there we go. What machine? Oh, I've already answered that. Okay, cool. What machine did I use to cut the bees? Now again, these have a protective, the foil from the tech wrap. The tech wrap foil has a covering on it, so make sure you are taking that off. You would like to give it a try. Buying a heat press is out of the question, and yes, you answered my question. I'm very glad. Absolutely. If you want to give it a try, if you want to play around with it, by all means. I would suggest buying maybe the tech wrap brand, or I know that on Amazon you get like HTV Ront and you get Caesar and all of those kinds of things, all of those brands. I can recommend a few products to you, but the Cricut Iron-On and I are not friends. I genuinely don't like it. So I know I haven't used HTV Ront myself, but I know that lots of people have used it very successfully. And let's just see if I can do 3 of these. One purple and maybe 2 of the goldy color. We got 3 blocks. 1, 2, 3 blocks. Okay, perfect. Premium vinyl textured metallic. Okay, so I'm just loading this into my Explore. I use HTV iron-on and it's great. Perfect. Thank you so much for sharing, Chris. Yeah, I've heard lots of great things about HTV Ront. Purely because of the shipping and things like that, it's just not viable for me to try it out at the moment. So I rely on opinions of you and, you know, my other friends in the creator space. I rely on their opinions of the product. Let's just see that we have enough space for both of these. Okay. In order to give opinions and things like that. So I like to share other people's opinions on them, which can be difficult because obviously not everybody's opinion is the same. But I do find it useful when you guys share your opinions and your experiences. Oh, look at how beautifully this is weeding. It's funny how people either like Cricut iron-on or they don't. Yes, Beth, I totally agree. I totally agree. I think for me, it's just the feel of it. I think it feels a little bit too plasticky and too on top of the shirt, if that makes any sense. I've used a lot of other products where they feel a lot softer and they're just, oh, this is weeding so beautifully, except for that one little section because it's obviously not going in the right direction. There we go. Oh, look at this. Absolutely perfect. And that one's going to give us problem. Oh, no, it didn't. Yay. You see, this is when your cut settings are perfect and the product is, it's a great product. That's tech wrap. The stuff is beautiful. Oh, awesome, Stella. That is great. Well done. It's always useful when you find something local. It was really pretty, Beth. Okay. I'm confident the cut settings were right on these. So I think maybe we'll leave these until afterwards. Maybe until it's on the mug, the cup. And then we'll add them on then. And because this is still a very clean mat, I like to cover it up immediately. I've started trying to be good about when I'm filming for videos using a clean mat as opposed to the grubby mats that I use for testing and things like that. Okay, now we're going to have to combine these two. All right, so I'm actually going to cut a piece of transfer tape. Normally I don't cut transfer tape, but in this case, I want to make sure that I am using enough. I'd rather have a little bit too much transfer tape than too little. So my scissors are right in front of me. I'm going to cut it off here. And then cut it down there. Trying to put it down gently so that it doesn't go clang in your ears. So Stella, if you want to share for anybody else that might be in, I don't think anybody else here is in Australia on the live stream currently, but if you want to share the name, sorry if that was loud in your ear. If you want to share the name of the retailer that you found, by all means, go for it. Feel free. This is a collaborative space and we want to help each other. I'm trying to think which one I want to add on. I think I'm going to add this onto that because I'm worried if I try and pick up the brown a bit too many times, it's going to damage it. So because this layer has much thinner parts, I mean, you can see it how, like I spoke about, just how thin those actual sections of brown are. I wouldn't even be averse to cutting this again with slightly thicker sections. Do you guys think I should cut it again with slightly thicker wings? They are very thin, and I am very concerned that it is going to lift up after a little bit of use. And I don't want to have to redo it all once it's on the mug, because then that's going to be even more difficult. So let me know. Let me know what you think. I think when it's these kinds of projects, it's important to know that even if you have to redo a layer, it's better to redo it now than it is to redo it at a later stage, you know? Yeah, they are very, very thin. So, okay, let me just show you what I'm doing quickly in Cricut Design Space. Okay, so we have Cricut Design Space open. I've just gone to the offset. So just selecting the design, clicking offset, and then I'm just moving this down very, very small. And I might even make it like, okay, now this is in centimeters. So if you're using inches, it might be 0.002 inches or something like that. So I'm going to do a 0.05 offset. You can see how it's not very much of an offset. All right. So then we go apply. And now it's applied it to everything. Now, what I might do, just to check to see that this looks okay still. In all honesty, I still think that looks great. But what I am going to do is I am going to remove the dots from this offset. So I'm just clicking on contour, and I'm just going to remove the dots because I don't want the dots to be a different size because they fit inside the flowers, the sunflowers. All right. And then I'm going to take that original layer, the brown layer, and I'm going to do the opposite. So I'm just going to hide all contours, and I'm going to show the dots. So I'm kind of essentially only applying an offset to the bees, and I've just separated out the bees and the dots. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to select them both, and I'm going to attach. So then we go make, and then we just redo the brown layer. It'll take a little while, but like I said, I'd rather do it over now than have a problem later on. And I mean, we're crafting here together, we're learning things, and this is kind of a lot of how projects go, you know. These aren't the kind of projects that always go perfectly all the time. Sometimes things go wrong, and that's totally okay. Okay, so we're connecting to the machine again. But then we can play with the dots along. Okay, so let's cut this one on Premium Vinyl Permanent Glossy was the setting that I used, and it cut beautifully. So then we can transition back here and cut it on the Cricut. So we're just going to cut that there. Oh, other way. Okay. So let's actually, while we wait for her to cut, I'm going to start working on this section because there's always things that we can do. Always extra things that we can do. No, wrong screen. Trying to open the chat again. If you do the gold layer over the top of the black layer, you wouldn't need to remove the dots, I don't think. That is true, but I don't want them to sit up because it doesn't, there's always like a little bit of it. When you're putting two things on top of each other and they like overlap, there's always like a little bit of a, I don't know how to explain it. Like there's a little bit of a gap in between where the one layer ends and the other layer then joins. They don't always join flush at the edge of that layer. And if moisture and things like that get underneath there, I don't like that. So that's when they're overlapping like that. I know exactly what you're saying. You're 100% correct. But with these being small, I want to try and avoid that if I can. I just want to try and make sure that they... I suppose I probably even could have taken those dots and put them there, but I don't know. Maybe I'll use that for something else. Maybe I'll make a card out of it or something like that. But you're 100% correct. That is very, very true. So, let's add in some of the brown dots. Or should we wait until the end? This isn't going to take long to cut. See, because we've got these, all of these little dots here. Maybe I can weed this along, cut this down. I hope that that explanation made sense. I can actually even show you with this. So this is a perfect example. I did this afternoon, or this morning rather. So these are printable, I'll show you the right way around. These are printable vinyl stickers that I've put and then put some resin on the top. Right? If you look underneath, you can see how I've overlapped lots of them. And you see how there's these little bubbles. The bubbles are where the vinyl doesn't quite stick right down immediately after that, the end of that leaf there. I'm trying to show you so that it shows, so that slightly darker color is where it's sticking down, and then the slightly lighter is where there's the bubble. Thank you, Julie. It's actually quite fun. I'll do a tutorial on my channel in a few months' time. I can't do it right away because I just did an event with this. So in a few months' time, I'll do a video on it. And I did this one as well. You may have seen this on my Facebook page. So there's this one, which was just yellow. And then I did this beautiful like chameleon pink gold glitter. I'm still going to add a glitter to the back because I don't like the fact that that's just plain white. But these are so much fun. But oh my word, this page, so those are all obviously printable vinyl. Let me just check the cut on this, sorry. Okay. It took an hour and a half for that page of printable vinyl to cut. It was insane. It was fun, but it was hectic. Took a really long time. Hi, Cherry. Oh, thank you so much. Late to the party from Oregon, no problem. It's still really early in Oregon. So, no hard feelings. I totally understand. And I think I said thank you very much for the congratulations. Okay, let me just cut this off on the side here. Let me cut this down. Okay. Cut that down there. Perfect. Okay. Now we don't have to worry too much about all of the other little inside bits, because most of the inside bits are now gone. So now we can properly just layer the gold on top of, I'm just making sure that I'm not ripping up any dots, on top of the brown. There we go. Okay, now these should be a lot easier to weed. Yes. And I'm going to show you as well, something that I should have done probably, is to remove the tiny little inside section that's cut just on the inside of the bees. But I didn't, and it's totally okay. See, sometimes you can just go really quickly with weeding. Oh, have I frozen? Did I freeze there for a second, or was that just my computer's display lagging? Yes, you did. You did. I definitely will watch the whole video when this is done so I can craft it. Great. Yes. There's a lot of backwards and forwards with this project. I tend to always do that when I'm crafting for myself. I tend to like take a really long time to make something because I know that I'm not on a clock and I can just enjoy it. You know, you don't have to, not everything has to happen at light speed. You don't have to rush to get everything done, or at least I have the luxury of not having to rush to get things done all the time. Occasionally, yes, I do have to, but luckily not today. Oh, there's one little thingy that I missed. Okay, yeah, that looks much better. I probably could have done a slightly smaller offset, to be honest, which you can't really see. So there it is. The problem with being so zoomed in is that I tend to craft off camera. And then I'm just going to pull these up as well and just weed this. Oh, beautiful, beautiful. Now, I'm still going to pick up the gold first. So we're going to... See, and redoing that actually didn't take all that long. I'd rather redo it and have a much easier time. Not going to do it again a third time, though. So we're just going to take the transfer tape off. And I'm going to try and line up the transfer tape as evenly as I can. Okay, well, that lifted some things up because that was a little bit too ambitious. But it's fine. I will fix that in a second. There's too much static. So like I said, guys, you're not the only ones that have problems all the time. Like, obviously now because it touched down, it lifted up some of those thingies. So when I put this down on this page, then I'm going to reorganize them and just like reshape them. Okay. Okay, you see there? It did its job a little bit too well. And now we just peel the backing of the gold vinyl off the transfer tape. Okay. Now, I should have thought of the silicone paper earlier, but I didn't. And I need the silicone paper now, and I don't know where it is. 1 second. Just want to make sure this is, because I've got silicone paper and butcher paper. I just want to make sure that it's not actually going to stick. Okay, cool. So it won't stick to this one. So I'm just going to cut down a piece of this. So I'm going to use this to layer. So what you want to do with this is you want to place this, oh, and it's always so nerve-wracking for me to put the butcher paper down on the design, because what happens if it doesn't work? Even though I've used it like a million times, it doesn't work. What happens if it doesn't work? Oh, so Brianda, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. She says they've used the HTV Ront and so far so good. That's great news. No, okay, it doesn't stick. All right, so I'm going to move that out the way. That out the way. That out the way. Make sure that I have, that's the right way up. I think what I'm also actually going to do is use a tiny bit of painter's tape and just stick this down. Because I find that if this part moves around, it's a lot harder to layer it properly. Because then this one's moving and that one's moving and... So I'm just going to stick this down so that it doesn't move. Okay. Then, was that the piece that I used? We're going to put this down. Okay, hold on a second. I'm going to do this so that you guys can see. Because I can see that you can't see. Oh, thanks, Beth. No problem. Almost done. So, I'm putting this down so that I can still see the design underneath it, so that when I add on my very staticky transfer tape, don't think I'll use this transfer tape again. When I use this transfer tape, oh, this transfer tape's a nightmare. I'm going to leave a little bit of the transfer tape as a gap at the top. Alright, so I'm placing this down on the paper, and then I'm lining it up. So I can see underneath exactly where everything... You might not be able to really see what is silicone paper. So silicone paper is actually a baking item that you can use in your trays and your baking and things like that. It just means that the vinyl doesn't stick to it. So you can layer it and get an accurate, or as accurate as possible, because I always find that my stuff ends up being a little bit out. Probably why I don't sell things to people. But you can more clearly see, you can kind of see the brown underneath. I can see it more clearly than when you can see it here on the screen. So you can line these things up, and when you're sure that you've lined them up correctly, and like I said, I always tend to have them like a tiny little bit out. Okay, so I'm going to then just tack that down so that the transfer tape is stuck onto the mat. I'm then going to lift this up. Oh, I'm not a fan of this transfer tape. Thought I'd give it a try. I mean, it's sticking very well, but see now, part of the transfer tape is actually, the silicone paper is sticking to the transfer tape because the transfer tape is so sticky, which is terrible. I've never ever had this problem before. Sure, this is like removing something from a strong grip mat. You guys? Also just shows you, I may have 50,000 subscribers on YouTube, but I still have problems like this every now and again. So I'm just taking this very slowly and just trying to keep all of the pieces of the vinyl in place while also not touching, or trying not to touch any of the other pieces, the backings of the vinyl. Wow. Parchment paper. Yeah, it's kind of like parchment paper. I actually would like to research what the difference is between all of them, because there's so many different kinds. And I don't know if it's just they're all the same item, just, you know, a rose by any other name kind of thing, or whether they're actually different structurally. It's like, does silicone paper have actual silicone in it? Does butcher paper just have a higher melting point or something like that, that you can use it for iron-on and things, or infusible ink? This is awful. Absolutely awful. Let's see if I can pull it off that way. Of course, now it's sticking to that side. No. I feel like this is quicksand. I mean, I'm just glad that it's not actually sticking, the vinyl isn't sticking to it. But it's destroying the transfer tape. Okay. All right. So you can see here, you need more hands. Yeah, I do. You can see here, it's actually stuck to the, because it's been pulled up, it's stuck to the back of some of the vinyl. So I just want to make sure that I'm removing that, like in this particular area, you won't really be able to see it. Because if I leave it as it is, then these pieces aren't going to stick, because it's got the parchment paper or the silicone paper that's stuck to the back of it. So I'm just trying to remove the silicone paper off the actual vinyl. I don't really care about the silicone paper being on the transfer tape, but it can't be on the back of the vinyl. So that's my goal now, just to get that stuff off. It's probably ruined some of those pieces, but you know what, they're little dots. If they come off, I can always just recut that tiny little section again and redo it. It's not the end of the world, especially because it wasn't on the whole thing. Yeah, this is the tech wrap transfer tape. I think this would be good for use with your shimmer vinyl and your premium, your texture metallic, but not for this. They do also have different colors of vinyl. I think they have like black and red and blue and things like that. So maybe this is just a higher tack transfer tape. I don't know. Okay, so then we just layer that on there like that. So some of these sections might come off because they've got a little bit of pieces underneath. So the design is done, and I am going to reseat some of those other sections. But yeah, from the static, not good. From the transfer, the grippy on the destroying the silicone paper, not good. So yeah, this does not have my stamp of approval. For normal like vinyl decals, I think it would be beautiful. It would work really well. But when you're layering things, absolute no. Because that's the thing, is that different transfer tapes very often have different uses. So like I said, as an example, if I were to use this with just regular vinyl decals, it would actually work beautifully. And I'm just putting those little pieces back where they should go. But when it comes to layering something, you need to be able to lift it up and put it down, and lift it up and put it down, and then this transfer tape would not be suitable. Maybe what I should do here is actually something a little unorthodox. Okay, I'm going to cut the transfer tape. Okay, so I don't really want to layer that anywhere else. So that needs to come up. I don't really want to move that separately. So I'll just cut out that little piece. I'm just moving it where it should be. There we go. Not perfect, but it's fine. Okay, so now we can see, you see how like the silicone paper, but that's on the top of the B, so that's actually totally fine. And then there, it's actually underneath that little gold section, so I might lose that. But that's also okay. But other than that, it actually looks pretty awesome. And then the other little dots, like these ones, I think I'm going to put on afterwards, once everything's done. So let's use my scraper, which is here. There we go. Scrape that on. Then going to flip this over and remove the backing. Oh, let's do another scrape here. Okay. Remove the backing from the vinyl. If your vinyl is struggling to adhere to the transfer tape and it's not coming off the backing, I like to use my Cricut XL scraper and essentially form like a 45-degree angle on the vinyl. Okay, so the vinyl is like that. You want to have like a 45-degree angle like that. It's a little bit difficult in the beginning, but once you get moving, then it actually works really well. So essentially what I'm doing is I'm just pulling this along the edge of the scraper as far back as I can, and this one I can actually do the whole thingy, because then what it does is it forces the vinyl to sit on the transfer tape. It's always difficult in the beginning to get started, but once you have a piece to grip onto, then it becomes a lot easier. So you might need to like use your weeding tool to press that down a little bit in the beginning. And then once you've got a little bit more of a grip on everything, then it goes so quickly. There we go. See how easy that comes off now. Well, and I say, and the one thing doesn't. There we go. So what I'm doing is I'm pulling the transfer, the backing of the vinyl back. And there, those sections where it keeps coming up, that's where the backing of the vinyl isn't flush against the scraper. But you could also use the XL scraper as well, just the sharp side. And then just even pressure on either side to keep that angle of the vinyl. So when you have particularly stubborn vinyl, this is the best way of getting it to transfer. Okay, there are a few faults here and there with this, but we'll fix them, it's fine. So now we take our glass and our awful transfer tape and I'm going to use the U method where I try and lie it down like this. So I might block your view a little bit, I apologize, but I need to make sure that it is straight. So let's just see. Okay. I also might often try a different method with vinyl, but when it's difficult to get off the transfer tape, then I don't like to use a different way of applying the vinyl onto the cup. Okay, there we go. So we're just slowly adding it on. It's not 100% straight, but that's fine. They're flying around the mug anyway. There we go. Now we hope and pray that it comes off. No, not that section. I'll see. Oh, really? That's exciting. Okay. Cool. Now we can, I'm just making sure that I haven't put the vinyl on the other side of the transfer tape. So we obviously have the transfer tape on the one side, transfer tape on the other side, just making sure that I don't have that there. Now what you can do is you take your scraper and you just go through your entire design. I like to do it before I take the transfer tape off because it protects the vinyl a little bit more from scratches and things like that. So just go over everything and burnish it on nicely. Oh, it looks so pretty with the foil. I'm so glad you guys chose the foil. And then of course, like we said earlier, we can add on some purple dots. So pretty. The more burnishing you do in this step, the longer the design ends up lasting because you are getting all the bubbles out and the adhesive cures over time. So in the next like 2 days or so, I wouldn't wash it for the next 2 days. It wouldn't see any drinks, and I'm gonna fix that petal once we're done. But this wouldn't see any liquid for at least the next 2 days, then at least the next 48 hours. Some people even say 72 hours, just because I don't want it to affect how the adhesive cures. Obviously didn't burnish that one on properly. Either that or this transfer tape is going to be difficult to get all of the stuff off. So I'm just as nervous as you are. And I think that, you know, that's why I like doing lives, because I show you. I generally tend to try different things when I do lives, which is probably not the best idea. But not every project always works out 100%. And this transfer tape is a nightmare because it keeps holding on to the vinyl. So this is going to be very painful to get off. Let's just see. Technically, what I could do is I could also just leave this. If I didn't, like now, I don't need to use this right now, right? So technically, if you are finding that, you know, this is your transfer tape is doing this, leave it for an hour. Because like I said, the adhesive cures over time. So after an hour, the adhesive keeping the vinyl to the glass will have cured stronger than the adhesive that is keeping the vinyl to the transfer tape. Because at the moment, the only thing that's happening is that the adhesive on the transfer tape is stronger than the bond, is stronger than that between the vinyl and the glass. So by leaving it, you're just allowing yourself time to have the stronger bond, the bond strengthen between the vinyl and the glass. So very often if you are struggling with projects like this, just leave it for an hour and then come back. But I want to show you guys what it's like, what it's going to look like, because it's so pretty. So I don't mind. It also shows you the process of how I do these things. See, normally I wouldn't use this transfer tape. I have my own transfer tape that I like to use, which you can't get overseas. And I wouldn't have this problem. Okay, just trying to keep that one petal down. There we go. That's working much better. And you might even find that as you go along, depending on how long this takes you, the stuff at the end will be easier than the stuff at the beginning, because it doesn't start curing that quickly, but it's been on there for a little bit longer. The transfer tape strikes again. You don't think you'll use that transfer tape? Yeah, Stella, I don't think I'll use it again either. Especially not if this is the kind of pain that I'm going to have to endure. Wow. And of course, when you're lifting it up and coming down, it has the chance of bending and all of those things, those beautiful things. So now I don't think these have a hope at all of sticking to the glass, because they've also got the silicone paper behind them. So there's probably no adhesive. I'll probably have to recut those, but that's fine. It's just a few petals. I don't mind recutting a few petals. Maybe I actually just leave those on the transfer tape. You know what you could also do if you do have this transfer tape is just push it against your clothes. So like take it on your shirt and like just pat your shirt with it, because what that does is it adds some fibers to the transfer. I mean, this transfer tape is insanely sticky. This is like the strong grip transfer tape of Cricut, but it doesn't say strong grip anywhere. So like, how are you supposed to know? Because that's essentially how it's behaving. It's behaving like strong grip transfer tape. So I would use this for textured metallic, and I would use this for what is the name? Shimmer vinyl. Because shimmer vinyl you need strong grip. But no. And each little petal, like you've got to press each little petal down. At least you guys can see clearly, so that's good. Watch my failures in HD. But these kinds of things don't bother me, because I know a lot of people might have these problems with their crafts. So by me doing this and showing you what to do when you have this problem, the next time you have this problem, you'll know what to do and how to avoid it. I'm just going to take that dot off, because that dot has too much paper underneath it, so it is not going to stay down.
But don't let this put you off vinyl projects. I mean, this isn't the easiest project in vinyl. So if you are a little bit hesitant about trying vinyl projects and now you're more hesitant, just remember that when you're starting vinyl projects, you would start maybe with an easier project. You wouldn't do a layering project with this kind of a vinyl on, you know, this kind of a thing. So don't let this put you off. I think if I just used a different transfer tape, this would have been a wildly different experience. We would have been done already a long time ago. I mean, it's now 3:30, so... And the music has stopped. I should start the playlist from scratch again. Could you guys hear that? I know that we spoke about the music earlier and then it was very quiet. We've still got like half of the glass to go. Wow, this is insane. Let's do this. There we go. No flower is perfect. It's imperfectly perfect. I love that. I love that. So true. And like I said, if this transfer tape had been a bit different, I would have also applied it onto the glass differently, which meant that we wouldn't have gone skew. But because this transfer tape is so strong, there's no ways that method would have worked. Okay, I just want to take that dot off as well, because that's never going to stick there. And we've got other dots to replace it with, so that is totally fine. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. Insane, and it's not like I didn't burnish it on either. It's just that this transfer tape is so strong. I'm also going to have to go over all of this vinyl again and burnish it on, because now it hasn't burnished on correctly. And I don't like doing that without the transfer tape on, because then you run the risk of like it scratching and, you know, disfiguring it and things like that. Okay, almost there. Got the last few to go. And then we're done. I should have been done with this like 10 minutes ago. Do you see how it's only the foil that is struggling to come off the transfer tape? Makes me wonder if that tape would still be good on regular vinyl. That is a very good observation. I didn't notice. Probably should have earlier. It would have made sense. I mean, it makes total sense now that you say it. And that is very interesting. I wonder how it would be on regular vinyl. But it's also strange for me because this is the transfer tape that came with the foil vinyl. So like you would almost assume that they would have given the transfer tape that you need to use for the foil vinyl with the foil vinyl. I don't know. That's weird. But that's a very good observation. See, this is why I love community, because two heads are much better than one. There we go. And I'm always so cautious when I get to the very end section, because this is where the transfer tape tends to like spring off if you don't have it gripped to the end. And then if you don't have everything stuck down, that's where the problems come in. Okay, that can pretty much go straight into the bin. I hate it. I missed a dot, but also not the end of the world. Stuff that. I'm going to throw that vinyl and that transfer tape away. Okay, so this is the part that I don't like doing without the transfer tape on. So now I actually want to go through everything and just make sure that it's stuck down properly. Which, like I said, should have done, well, I did earlier. But now I have to do it again. Because you want to make sure that everything has a good adhesion to the glass, so that when the adhesive cures, it cures onto the glass. Let's just fix that one. There we go. Whoop. Just fixing that one petal. There we go. Now, like I said, I'm just going to go over everything and just re-burnish it to make sure that it's stuck down. And you can also look through the glass on the other side if you want to see that there are no bubbles, or as few bubbles as possible, because there will never be no bubbles. There's a piece of transfer tape there. Would using parchment paper over the white burnishings protect it better? Probably would, but it tends to scrunch up a lot and like move around a little bit too much, and then I can't see what I'm doing properly. So I just tend to prefer to do it without it and just try and do it a little bit more carefully. So like I said, you can, but you can't. Now you see it tends to scrunch up a little bit. In all honesty, I don't think you end up making that many scratches and things on it. It's just if I can minimize the scratches, I will, in a way that kind of makes sense. And obviously those little leaves, those little petals, I'll end up recutting and just applying on later. It's looking so good. Even with all of our problems, we still have a great end result. Oh. There we go. Now we're back at the beginning. think. Yeah. Roseanne, not sure its patience would be adequate to get me through this like I have. I think it's more like I'm just determined that I'm not going to let it win. So then I just try and muscle through it. Now I'm going to add the dots onto the inside of these ones. I think also they call it hyperfixation. It's an ADHD thing. This is like my temporary hyperfixation. And I have you guys to keep me company, so like it's not like I'm getting bored or anything, you know? And then we can put these dots elsewhere as well. So you can't really see them, but they do kind of catch the light on the inside a little bit, which looks cool. It just adds a little bit of extra interest. The colors of the vinyl are beautiful. The tech wrap vinyl is absolutely lovely. It cuts so nicely, it weeds so nicely, if you have the right cut settings, of course, but it is very forgiving. There we go, almost done. Ah, that one's off center. No! Oh! There we go. Okay, that's all of those. Now we can add a few small ones here and there. Why not? And like I said, I just do these by hand because you don't really need transfer tape. I'm going to put a little few more here on this section because that's the little gap between the two objects, the two edges, sorry. Now I'm just adding it on. You made it to a live, Lizette. Well done. South African living near Dubai. That's fancy. I mean, I don't do lives, public lives very often. I do members only live once a month. So that's always quite fun to join in. But I haven't actually done a public live in a while. I should do them a little bit more often. This has been a lot of fun. You guys have been amazing. Okay. Now we add some purple ones. Is the vinyl itself sticky? Like, could it stick to paper? Yes. So the adhesive is on the back of the vinyl, and it'll stick to pretty much whatever you stick it down onto, unless the surface is like a waxy surface. So that's why it doesn't stick to the backing of this. You can easily pull it up. I mean, it doesn't move, but it doesn't cure on it. It won't be like very difficult to remove after a while. So this part, I'll just peel that off. So the color is on this side, okay, and the other side is the adhesive. So that's the part that sticks. So that's where the stickiness comes from. And then you can just very easily just lift those off. It doesn't stick to the metal. And then you can just stick it down. Super easy. Oh, the purple looks nice with it. Like, just gives it a tiny little bit of a color pop. yeah, so we'll have a live today instead of a main channel video. And then I'll probably be able to get out another video next week, which is going to be quite exciting. Got no rhyme or reason as to where I'm putting the dots, just putting them where I see a gap. There we go. Oh, thank you, Anna. Phil, so I cut this on my Cricuts. If you go back a little while in the video, I'm not sure when you joined, but if you go back probably 20, okay, well, we've been sitting here for a while, so maybe like an hour, then you'll see I went, well, from the beginning of the video, I went through Cricut Design Space. We played around with some designs a little bit, you know, adjusted them, undid some things that we did to the design, and then I cut it with my Cricut Explore 3, but you can use pretty much any Cricut. And then we're just applying it and, you know, having problems as we all always do with projects, working through them. It's been fun. Now I've got a few dots left, so I'm just going to add some more. And let's do a big dot there and a little dot up here. But of course you can cut it with your Cricut, with your Silhouette, doesn't matter. They all work. Put one over here. Oh, I'm so glad, Orla. Yeah, this has been a lot of fun. It's been a live streamy day for me. I think I was live for about an hour earlier in the Take a Lot, Craft a Lot event. There we go. Look at how fun that is. Maybe if I put this. There we go. Oh, look at it. It looks so pretty. Like I said, I'm going to fix that up later, and maybe a few other places where it needs to be just adjusted a little bit. But that looks so cute. I love how you guys told me to use the foil, and we've combined the foil and the normal color. I really think it just, you know, the two different colors look so pretty. And I've still got 4 more mugs that I need to make. Definitely going to do a Christmas one. Oh, I love it. Yeah, thank you guys so much for joining me. This has been so much fun. Resize the wings was a great change. I totally agree. I totally agree. I think that this vinyl will stick a lot better, even though it may look a little bit more clunky. I still think that this looks better than having this super fine vinyl. This would have been imagine trying to get this off that transfer tape. You guys, no thank you. It's definitely a collaboration effort, this one. So every time I look at this one, I will think of you. Yeah, but thank you guys so much for spending this day with me. I very much appreciate it. I very much appreciate the super chats that you guys gave, and I'm super excited that a couple of you joined the channel members. So we've got 2 new channel members that are going to be, you know, able to watch all of the videos in the channel members library, because that's been going for a while, and there are lots of videos that you can watch of mine. Unboxing videos, general chat videos, catch-up videos, get to know me a little better. There's lots of live streams that you can watch, and I'm just so excited to have had you all here. I'm very grateful to every one of you for joining, and especially because this is like a special day. You know, having hit 50,000 subscribers it's a very, very awesome achievement, and I'm very grateful to have had all of you here with me. So thank you very much, Leslie. I hope that you all have a wonderful weekend, and I'm very excited to see you guys very soon. And remember, be kind to someone today. See you soon.